She keeps farting. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. My dog keeps farting. I was like, what does that smell? All right. So I'm going to be doing a reading for Blu-rays. Okay. Totally exhausted. Totally exhausted. Kind of feel like I should take my hair down. It suddenly gave me a headache. All right. Let me try and get it to not be crazy. All right. So let's get started. Blu-rays. It's just a very, very exhausting period that we're in. Just a lot of purge. A lot of purging. Let's see. All right. Let's look at this. Card number 18, Spirals of Manifestation. You are in the process of manifesting change for yourself as well as for your entire environment. If enough of us manifest profound enough change for ourselves, it manifests change for our environment, which then creates a ripple effect. Excuse me. That ripple effect, if enough of us commit to it, it goes from being a ripple to becoming a tsunami of change. And it just really depends on how much we want this. Do you guys want change? Or are you kind of just satisfied with life being the way it is, the world being the way it is, and people kind of just gotta, I guess, I don't know, suck it up. I mean, I'm not okay with that. Moi, personally, is not okay with that. I want change, okay? We are the ones that pull the strings. We are not puppets. Blu-rays. There might be people in this world who are willing to be puppets. There might be people in this world who are hell-bent on being puppeteers. We are neither. So we have to stop playing whatever role of puppet or puppeteer or puppet master. What? Cut the strings. Cut the strings. The only one that's pulling strings for you in your life is your higher self. Don't give anyone else that kind of power over you. Nope. Card number 7, Legacy of Light. This card usually irritates me. Excuse me. This card usually irritates me because it just, I don't know. It just makes me feel irritated. I don't know why. But right now, it totally makes sense. We come from a legacy of light. We're going from this infancy of our understanding of ourself, our energy, our use and access of that energy into a more adult role. So young adulthood. That's definitely key. A key thing to remember, okay? We're entering the young adulthood of our Blu-ray existence right now, and it's important for you to do your part to learn how to utilize your energy and how to do it in a way that continues to grow you and support you. I'm noticing many of my live streams, I'm over here yawning. And now I'm having a hot flash. Y'all, I'm so sick of this. Oh my gosh. I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of this. Sick of this. Okay. Card number 41, Belonging, House of Night. It's time for you to enter the places where you belong. And oftentimes, the places where you belong as a Blu ray and someone who is tasked with helping to change the way the world functions, sometimes you have to enter into the darkest, most deeply, what am I even trying to say? The darkest, most deepest places within yourself. Belonging house of night. So it's time for you to enter those places within yourself and your journey that have just, you've been too scared to go there. Why are you scared to go there? What is it? Because we all have some sort of fear. What drives your fear? What fuels it? What perpetuates it? What are you afraid of finding about yourself? And that's what you have to deal with first and foremost, okay? Next, we have conclusion. Not only are things are ending because you're coming to conclusions about yourself and your life. You're starting to make up your mind about what you believe about yourself, what you believe about your life, what you believe about so much stuff. It's just one of those things where it's like, are you really like that? Are you really the person you think you are? Or is it time for you to recognize that you're kind of just believing what other people are telling you? Card number 26, honesty. You have to allow that flame of truth to burn away all the BS, burn away all the distortions. If you don't allow that, you're probably going to experience elevated struggles during this period. I do believe I said it in a recent live stream for Blu-rays that we're going to be entering, or we're already entering, a period of major challenge, intense learning and purging and all of that, all the way up till the 12/12 portal. That's going to intensify for you. The less you want to participate in your process, the more intense your process is going to be. Let's see. Oh, I've been coming off too intense for the past couple of weeks. A lot of people don't like it, but you know what? This is my process. I'm not going to shut myself up, shut myself down. If people don't like it, they don't like it, and that's perfectly fine. But I have noticed I've been extra intense. I don't know what it is. And it's not even an intensity that comes from like anger or any of that. We just keep going. All right, High Priestess. It's time for you to enter into a state of High Priestess, High Priest. Trusting your intuition, careful reflection before you take action, insights that come through meditation. You have to still the monkey mind in order for the messages to come through fully. If you think you know what's really going on with you, with your life, with your spiritual process, and all you do is think, analyze, there's a very high likelihood you have no idea what's going on. And you can feel it, and that's why you're grasping at straws. You're over analyzing things, okay? Instead of just being fully present, you're doing that, and that's the very thing that's blocking you from being fully present. So, 8 of Wands. You have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you are powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you really want. What do you really want? Do you want growth? Wait, what? I'm opening to swimming downstream. F you people and what they... I thought you were saying you wanted to swim downstream specifically to F people up. I was gonna say, Derek, what's going on? Is everything okay? I thought you were looking for people to hurt. I was gonna say, motherfucker, you're supposed to be peaceful. You could be whatever you like. Okay. Queen of Autumn, generous, stylish, gracious, practical. Be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful. Meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. What if you meet yourself halfway? Meet yourself halfway on that path between self and soul. You know, why don't you compromise with yourself? I mean, it's good to compromise with other people, but sometimes when you compromise too much, you compromise yourself. Ooh, the word compromise. That kept coming up in my Chinese soap opera all day long. You've been compromised. Me? Wait. Was that a message for me? Have I been compromised? Oh my God, suddenly my throat is clearing. Hold on. Okay. I just got a major message. I've not been compromised, but there's something that's working on Blu-rays. So my understanding of Blu-rays, our Blu-ray family, we have our own personal shields, which for the most part is very, very difficult to breach, to observe, to hack, whatever it is. It's very, very difficult for parasitic things to do that to Blu-rays. Excuse me. It's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. Now, in addition to our personal shielding, we have like a huge bubble we exist within as a soul family. Excuse me. That's an additional layer of protection that makes it very difficult for most parasites to breach. The things that are able to breach Blu-ray shielding would be some very high level parasitic being, extremely high level. So I get this visual that there's this big bubble and we're contained within it. And like on the outside of the bubble, it's like something is gnawing on it. And its saliva is acidic. Looks like an alien. Its saliva is acidic and it's trying so hard to breach. Oh, I don't watch any news or current events. Please don't write names if you really think that's the name of some high level being. Please don't write names. It has to do with spell casting. Just, yeah, I don't want to get into that. Card number 6, the Lovers. True love is long lasting. Choices made from the heart, a return to good health. So, first off, the Lovers card in the tarot deck has to do with being tested as well. Okay, so this is definitely a test. Will we choose to support each other? Will we choose to reunify? Will we choose to activate the pathways that connect us and form a grid? There's a very real, very logical reason why Blu-rays are strategically placed in different parts of the world. Okay. We're creating a grid work. Wherever a Blu-ray exists, you know, whatever it is, without any effort, you are calling energy down to you. Okay. Just because you exist on this plane. As the energy comes down, it's extremely high frequency that's barely hostable, that's barely allowed to be on this plane that Earth exists on. Well, as we've come in considerable numbers, what's happened is we've created a network to anchor that in, to actually begin anchoring that energy in. And this is how we are helping Earth to ascend. Okay. What? You mean like leave? Man, that state gives me, I've never felt more unsafe in my life than when I entered California. And for those of you who, um, for those of you who are familiar with the Phoenix area in Arizona, I consciously chose to live in Maryvale. And I thought it was amazing. I loved it there. I loved it there. I ain't even about hood stuff. Like, I'm in a really good neighborhood, like really good neighborhood. Okay. Uh, it's just the state of California. I'm just saying. Just the look on my face. Okay. So, card number 19, the sun, plans that work out perfectly. Okay, return to good health, choices made from the heart. I think um I think for Blu-rays, one of the things that sets us apart from other soul groups is that we have such a hard time seeing another Blu-ray suffer. Seeing especially another cloister. If you're cloister and you see another cloister member suffering, struggling, uh-uh, uh-uh, just uh-uh. So I think that might be the very thing that causes us to really like be all up in arms about stuff and actually take action. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about allowing ourselves to really, really, really begin fulfilling our purpose, moving forward in our journey, taking some action to grow yourself, empower yourself, all of that. So, card number 19, the sun. Plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations, gratitude for the blessing of life. This card kind of confirms it. It kind of helps us to, okay. I feel like we're crooked because we are. Okay. That just has to do. I feel like there's so many things that have been kind of tossed on our Blu-ray plate that we haven't really been able to process. Life has kept us very, very distracted and very, very busy. And now you have to fucking shit. Sorry. Oh, now they're talking shit. I didn't even get a chance to shuffle the deck. All right. Sorry. All right, that's enough cards. I suddenly got super duper hot. Okay. Past lives. Okay. Past lives. This is like a culmination of all the lives we've lived. This life is like a culmination of all of that. All of our karmic connections are coming back and fighting us in this life. It's like every life you've lived before this one was preparing you for this one. And, here's the thing. it's not necessarily that you're going to be fist fighting or shooting guns, or I like to shoot guns actually. But it's not like that's going to be a requirement. You are energetic beings coming down into flesh. You're not necessarily being asked to go guerrilla warfare on anything. Okay. This is about a shift in consciousness. This is about recognizing that if you're going to continue to participate in the same paradigm you've participated in, but just playing a different role in that paradigm, you're still in that paradigm, is the thing. That's the thing. You're not supposed to stay in that program. I mean, I don't know. Laziness. We're being called out. I don't know if maybe we've been being too lazy in our work for ourselves. We've been putting too much emphasis on the work we're doing for others. Um, I know for Blu-rays, we're supposed to have a major emphasis at this point on including ourselves in the group that we came into this life to love on, support, um, be a very solid foundation for, all those things. You're part of that group. I'm suddenly like, lots of imagery being shown. A lot of imagery. Card number 3, experiencing. I feel like I'm on fire. What the hell? Started snoring. I'm wondering if the whole fire and heat is about burning down, burning away all of the ways in which you've been fighting your own journey, your own process. Really, you're here to experience things. So I hear experience, feel, and grow. You're here to experience, to feel, and to grow. I swear that's not me. That's my piggy girl. Card number 10, we are the world. This is what I was talking about earlier. We've been spread across the world, creating a network of energy. And if we can activate that, if we can allow ourselves to utilize the pathways that already exist between us, we form a grid around the world. And that grid helps us to really bring in a new energetic infrastructure. This energetic infrastructure, if it's going to be built off of Blu-ray energy, Blu-ray heart waves, heart song, then what ends up happening, Blu-ray energy of the highest kind has the ability to penetrate anything. Just because of the way the waves are, the speed with which it moves, the height and depth of that wavelength has ability to penetrate anything. Any types of densities, any types of shielding. So this is a very solid way to rebuild the energetic infrastructure of societies. Also the energetic infrastructure of individuals. This is a very important thing because it's like you can't continue to exist in the same way. So you own a gas vehicle and you want to switch to diesel. Are you going to continue to put gasoline in a diesel vehicle? You are going to destroy that engine. You can't do that. You might as well put sugar. No, you cannot do that. They are two different types of fuels. Look at ketogenic diets. You can't continue to eat the same fuel sources, primarily carbohydrates, if you want to induce ketosis. That's fucking what's happening. The food source is changing. the food source is changing. I don't know what that means, but I get this like sense of ketosis is being induced for that collective whole. It's the burning of a different fuel. In ketosis, you're burning fat. You're not burning glucose. This is so deep, like I can't even explain it. We're burning a different fuel. That's so deep. The burden is in allowing ourselves to really, really see things. Okay. The burden is in allowing ourselves to take that stupid ass cock off our backs. Yeah. Why are you doing what you're doing? Is it because you think you're doing someone a favor? You're helping? The best way to help humanity at large is by working on yourself, growing yourself, deepening, ripening your inner under and understanding of yourself and your soul. It's time for you to begin healing yourself. It's time to allow yourself to heal the way you see your mind, to heal your mind so you can heal the way you see yourself. It's time for you to begin healing this wound that's caused you to struggle with digesting the events of your life. Many of us don't actually digest the events of our lives. Many of us. Many of us think that just because we're able to pause in the crying and put the stuff back in a box and put it on our shelves, we've dealt with it. You actually haven't. We think that just because we become functional again after tremendous heartache, for whatever reason, that we've healed it. We haven't. Eating carnivore diet and healing my gut. Like strictly meat. I would go with a ketogenic, Paleolithic, hybridized diet. I wouldn't do the ketogenic dairy portion. I love animal fats. It's fucking I love fat steak. Dominique, can you email me whatever this diet is? I'm very, very curious because I know several extremely high frequency individuals who are mostly carnivorous. It's not by choice either. They're highly reactive to plant matter. Only a handful of plant matter can be consumed, but it's primarily just carnivorous. And I'm wondering, I hate to say this because it sounds so like barbaric, but my question is this like starting to become a thing where the more highly evolved, the more you're eating animal product, animal flesh? I know it completely goes against what the common perception is, but really it's so widely accepted. And I found that anything that's so widely accepted, you got to question the shit out of that. Are the use of specific types of flora allowed in particular? And I don't partake in any of this, but I've really looked into some of the information, the research into it, and it's very fascinating. The use of cannabis is the most common. It's highly frowned upon. And then the use of mushrooms, that's also highly frowned upon. I mean, there's so much research that's being done. I'm not talking about Googling shit. I'm talking about real research, okay? Real research that's being done by scientific doctor type people. And they're finding that microdosing certain types of mushrooms can help with repairing brain function. That's so huge. It's huge, huge. Um, yeah, DMT as well. Ooh, ATP. Mother's DNA is mitochondrial. Mitochondria, RNA, mRNA, rRNA, all of that. Actually, the mitochondria is the delivery system. That's like the hub that's used to deliver um, etheric information, coding from your morphogenetic template. It's often condensed and stored within the mitochondria. And that has to do also with the genetic expression. It's okay. I don't want to get too deep into that. Excuse me. Healing is necessary. Okay. Healing is necessary. So this was pointed out to me. There's yellow that's placed by the heart, and there's green. This is telling me that you need to recognize at this point that your power is in your ability to filter through your heart, to exist in a heart-centered way. Yes, that's why they're messing with the mitochondrial DNA. Yes. 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 I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but yes. Oh, good God. Yes. Um, on top of that, I've found quite a bit of information that suggests, I mean, I can't prove it, so it suggests that the food supply is definitely being tampered with, especially with the foods that aren't cooked. We're getting into the realm of like nanotech and stuff like that. I don't want to get into that either. Let's see. Yes, quantum addictions can be an issue. That's why I don't really want to talk too much about all of these different substances. We have to touch on this. It's a very, very key point that you brought up, because a lot of people have really, really made the use of such sacred substance that was once part of very, very sacred rituals. It's now a recreational thing, and they call it medicine. That's not medicine. That's recreational use. When you're able to use it all the time and you think you need to do it on a regular schedule, and it's just, because this is the schedule, every Saturday we do the Aya. We do the Mama Aya, which, hey, if it continues to grow you, do it. If you're doing it because you want to be part of the clique, reassess. Things that were once so very sacred and divine, it's now recreational. Let's be very, very honest with ourselves about whether our use of these sacred things is recreational, or if you really, really are doing this to grow yourself. Like there's some sort of spiritual science involved in it, okay? The outsider. Blue-ray cloisters are the outsiders, okay? It takes a lot for us to become insiders. Well, a lot for us to consider ourselves insiders. Yes. Oh my God. Okay. I probably need to communicate with you privately. They can show where you want to be. It doesn't teach you how to get there. We're still here in the physical. So part of what I'm seeing when it comes to the recreational use of things that are not quite fully understood is that it kind of feeds into this ego base, like, I need to be there. But we fail to realize the growth is in the process, the journey before we get there. We keep trying to externalize, and we keep trying to go somewhere else. We keep trying to be someone else. And it's like, boo boo. No matter what you identify as, galactically speaking, celestially speaking, you can put all these labels on you all you want. But the fact is, so long as you are in a physical body, you are a human being. You are a human being. And I say this as someone who went through that journey of like, oh, I can't stand humans. I still kind of can. But I recognize I'm one of the humans now. I'm not something separate. And that was the key in my journey. That's what unlocked so much of my remembrance of previous existences. Because I recognize now I'm supposed to be here. All of y'all are now my family. I'm the crazy sibling. So we have to get past like the ego-based mental structures of like, I'm going to use this and be this label. We have to really just be okay with feeling like we're the outsiders once you allow yourself to become an insider. You recognize you are a human being as well. And we all together, all these different types of human beings with different types of galactic heritage, lineage, ancestry. We do this together because guess what? We are the world. We are the world. And here's another key thing that I recognize, and Blu-rays need to know this. The higher order of Blu-ray that you are, it's not about being better. It's about being more able to serve. So the higher order of Blu-ray that you are, the more you've been filtered through all sorts of different galactic and terrestrial races. I do believe I've been at least one life on each of the continents, at least. I've been so many different conflicting ethnicities. In this life, I'm Filipino. In the previous life, right before this one, I even remember the way I died. I was Japanese, and it was at a time when Japan was occupying quite brutally the Philippine Islands. So why did I need to be born into a Filipino life? Because the life before this, I had no appreciation for the culture, for the people. That I had a lot of karmic bleed over through much of my childhood. I did not like people calling me Filipino. I was Japanese. No, girl, you're not. You so are not. You're so Filipino. So, once I was able to do enough work with myself, I was able to recognize why and where that was coming from. And I was able to resolve it. And now there's no issue with my current ethnicity. So let's see. Sharing. It's time for us to share our light. It's time for us to share the fruits of our labor. We go through all these processes, especially from early childhood all the way through full-on adulthood. And many of us keep those fruits that we have been harvesting our whole lives to ourselves. We keep it very quiet because people might think we're crazy. You know what's crazy is allowing people to continue the type of logic they have and shutting yourself down and quieting yourself, not to offend the very people who needed to hear what you needed to say. Because that's the thing. If you want change, you have to be willing to be the change. And you can't change if you're forcing yourself to continue to behave just like everyone else because you don't want to be the outsider. So long as you are still in the infancy of your consciousness in this lifetime, you will be that toddler who just wants to fit in. Okay? And that's okay. Eventually you'll grow and eventually you will no longer be a toddler. You'll become a young adult, energetically, spiritually, however you want to call it. She's snoring so loud. Don't mind her. She's tired. Oh, she farted again. Girl. It went in my mouth. All right. Okay. The source card came up. The source of your fear has to do with your fear of not being able to survive this life, not being able to survive the type of stigma, the type of ridicule, harassment, bullying you'll receive if you don't force yourself to fit in. Notice how that is the source is same color as the lock. This source that we just talked about is the lock. It's the lock. It's the lock. If you release your fear of all of these things, because let's face it, whether you try and assimilate or not, if you feel you are weak, if you feel you are an easy target, that translates so loudly to those who are looking for a target. Why is it not common for me to be targeted? Because motherfucker, it's gonna be hard. I'ma fuck your ass up back. Like, it's a tit for tat type thing. It's very petty. But when you are entering a conscious space that speaks a different language, you can't be the kind of person that's like, well, no, I'm going to speak a foreign language and they have to understand me. Well, they don't. they don't. Okay. They don't. And you can't fault them for not understanding. If they don't speak your language, they won't understand. If you want them to understand, if you want to effectively communicate, you have to use their language. And if their language is, bitch, I'm gonna fuck your ass up, that's the language you got to use. When you're dealing with a ratchet, you got to be a little bit ratchet too. I'm just saying, cray, recognize cray. I don't talk like that to everybody. I really, really don't. If you come to me in a very educated manner, I will hold symposium with you in a very educated, very eloquent manner. But if you're going to be like, hey girl, what's up? I mean, that's the language. That's the language. So you are the creator and you are the source. You created that source. You created that lock. Maybe you created it before you understood you were creating locks. Maybe you changed yourself up before you understood those behaviors, those coping mechanisms were coping mechanisms. Yes, mirroring, but you have to know when to mirror, because it would also be inappropriate for you to just mirror everything, right? It's just when there's an elevated need to communicate and communication is not occurring sufficiently. I mean, my natural vernacular tends to be quite archaic, and most people don't understand what the hell I'm talking about, so we got to just talk the way people talk. But yeah, I never spoke like that as a child. A lot of my even if you hear my children speak, they speak very similar to the way I speak. And it's like, it's different. It's just different. Let me find the other deck. This one. Final deck. Final deck. What? Oh, I thought you were talking to me. F with me. FW. I don't know what you were saying. I thought you were like trying to egg me on. Like, no, girl, we're not fighting here. It's just like, no. So I was having a conversation with my brother in the car. I think it was today or the other day. And he was trying to instigate. He was joking around. He's like, you really let that girl talk to you like that? And I totally was like, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is recognize you don't got to show up to everything you're invited to. And my nephew was like, yeah. It's true, though. It's true. How powerful do you have to be like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have time today. Send to voicemail. I have to stop sending things to voice. I've been doing that for days. Send to voicemail. I'm sorry, I don't have time. I'm preoccupied. Okay. No, boo-boo. Get back up there. All right, guys. Here goes the final. It's the final countdown. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Ooh. Okay, we moving. Movement of residence, journey, victory over situation or problem, balancing the opposite polarities. So, movement of residence, let's cover that first. I feel like movement of residence has to do with this need for you to relocate from one house within your mind to another house within your mind. We need to begin balancing I heard polarities of the hemispheres. But we need to begin balancing the polarities of the hemispheres. You have a left and a right hemisphere of your brain. It's time for you to be centered, seated at the seat of the soul. And that would be your pineal. Okay, that's at the very center of your jujube. Your brain is at the very center. You have to relocate from whatever part of your brain you're functioning within. Most of us at this point, after all of this stuff that's gone on with the world, we're functioning at a place situated somewhere between the amygdala and hippocampus. We're all fight or all flight. I don't think so. I'm not just adrenaline, okay? I need to be able to kind of just flow and shift and be whatever I need to be in the moment, experience whatever I need to experience in the moment. Movement is good. Stagnancy breeds, guess what? Blockages. Case in point. Let me plug this in. Case in point, when the heart does not function properly, when either the ventricles don't fully close or the heart pumping is irregular, not strong enough, blood has a tendency to not fully be evacuated from the chambers. What happens? That lack of movement creates an environment that allows for the possibility of blood clots to form. Imagine the gravity of what happens when you have blood clots in your heart. That's what happens when you don't allow the proper type of ejection fraction. So, we just saw the cardiologist today. Oh, I gotta say, I showed him my home echocardiograms and my little log of all the vitals and times and medications. He liked it. He was proud of me. Oh, balancing the opposite polarities. Polarize the hemispheres and balance them out. So like mitosis, the pinching, that's how your hemispheres look. I don't know if you guys know that. The brain is not whole. People think the brain is whole. Hemispheric. It looks like this with some balls in the center. This is what the brain looks like. So it's a reversing of the it's opening of the pathways. When you can function with the totality of the brain or close to it, or even at least just get them to work together, a lot of things can begin happening for you, like a lot of growth, energetic, spiritual, mental, emotional, consciousness growth, consciousness expansion. Have you guys seen the movie Powder? There's this movie, it's called Powder. It's old, but by the time he was able, if I remember right, by the time he was able to work with a whole brain, he basically did the rainbow body move and he just became pure energy and was dispersed. That's what's going on. If you guys have seen the movie, it has Scarlett Johansson in it. Lucy, yes, yes, Lucy. Part of the reason she was able to, you know, access that much ability, the neural pathways that went dormant were reactivated. That's what we're here to do, reactivate those dormant sections that prevent the pathways to be properly utilized. Um, we have to allow that again. So balancing the opposite of polarities, victory over a situation or problem, works for me. I like winning. Okay, so 5 of Cups in reverse. Hopeful outlook, favorable expectations, new alliances, affinity, return of an old friend, reunion. I don't know how you said it like that. So, new alliances. I'm not too sure who excuse me. I'm not too sure who's coming forward. It is definitely a galactic energy. The what? I'm trying to hear it properly, like Vidronics. Is that the name of the people? I'm sorry, sir. I'm not familiar with you. Can you repeat? Something about Vidronics. I don't know what it means. I'm not too big on galactic stuff. I avoid it like COVID. That's the fucked up joke. Let me stop. I do avoid galactic things. I just really don't want to process it. I don't. I'm going to be honest. I don't. Eventually, I'll be forced to. This is a hybridized species. They're interdimensional. And I'm being told they're coming forward. They're not draconian. I'm familiar with draconian. Vidronic, like Veda, Vidronic. They're benevolent. It's a new alliance that's being formed. I wish I had my galactic cards. Then I'd be able to tell you. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Here we go. Look at all these walls I built. Baby, they're tumbling down. Didn't even put up a fight. Didn't even make a sound. Okay, the Sun card in reverse. Unhappiness, loneliness, possibly a broken engagement or marriage, canceled plans, triumph delayed. So we have a new alliance coming in. Their arrival is delayed. Mm-hmm. Quick-witted, intensely perceptive, a subtle person. May signify a widow or woman of sadness, mourning, privation, absence, loneliness, separation. You gotta keep them separated. So, this is looking like this is drama. So, something's coming to try and help. There's a delay. There is a separation, an absence. You can't allow voids to exist within you for too long. That's because creation doesn't like voids. It will always try and seek balance by filling it. Okay? So when you have a jar full of water It's full of water. There's not a void in it. When you dump the water out, it's not empty. It's now full of air. Creation doesn't like voids. If you allow a void to exist for too long, something else will fill that void. And if you're not consciously choosing what fills that void, you're going to have any old scruffian coming in. If there's a void that exists, due to like twin flame separation, and you keep that void open, you're holding it open, hoping the person comes back because you identified them as that. What ends up happening is another scruffian comes along. Hey, the word came out, we're using that word. Another scruffian will come along and try and fill that hole. Oh, I met another twin and it's my new twin. It's my real twin this time. But is it? Do we know? Did they take the test? I don't know what the test is. It's a breathalyzer. It's a twinalizer. Michael liked that one. Okay, Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. And yes, y'all, I can't be bothered to memorize the meanings of these cards because then it becomes something that's not really the message. So, Queen of Cups. Warm-hearted and fair person, beloved and adored. Good friend and mother. Devoted wife, practical, honest, loving, intelligent, gift of vision. I think maybe, I think you need to be your own mom. I think you need to be your own wifey. Like, take care of yourself. Be spiritually domestic. Clean up your energy. Organize your Akashic shelves. You know, be your own mommy wife, wifey mom, whatever combo it is. Yeah, no, we can definitely talk about twins if it comes up in the reading. I'm not going to abstain from it if I don't feel like it. Practical, honest, loving, and intelligent. Gift of vision. That's your intuition popping up. You're being shown things. The thing about me, when you tell me not to do something, that's the more I'm going to want to do it. So I'm wondering if you're being guided to tell me not to talk about twins because now we need to talk about twins. Oh shit, the card fell. Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. I know, you're trying to play me, Mikey. You're trying to play me. Queen of Wands. A sympathetic and understanding person. Friendly, loving, chaste, practical, charming, grace. Gracious hostess. No. Nope. You don't want to be a gracious hostess when something's trying to enter your field. You definitely do not want to be a gracious hostess when it comes to parasitic infiltration, parasitic breach. Do not be a gracious host for that. Seriously. You may be fed up, but are you actually digesting? She said, twins, I'm fed up. You may have it eaten, but are you digesting it? Are you chewing it? Chewing the fat? Page of Pentacles. She's dreaming hardcore. You're going to be okay. You're safe. I've been saying that to her for days. You're safe. Page of Pentacles. Deep concentration and application, scholarship, reflection, desire for new ideas, a do-gooder, bearer of news. Deep concentration and application. I'm not sure if I've said this before, but I get the sense that you have to deeply concentrate on coding that's coming in. Deep concentration and application. I got a notification on my phone that they're trying to install yet another update. You can update my fucking finger is what you can update. I'm sick and tired of their updates. So I'm wondering, because when I read that on my phone, I'm like, fuck. I went like that. We were out. And then I'm like, ooh, tingly. It was super tingly on the top of my head. I don't know if it was because I was in front of slot machines, and usually they make me feel tingly, or if it was a message. Because I did see Michael at the casino, and I was just like, "Not right now. Don't fuck with me right now. I'm in a casino." I'm wondering if that was a message, like, downloads are coming in. Have I said that before, though? That from the 11:11 portal all the way through to the 12:12 portal, there's gonna be a rise in the amount of downloads that are coming in because it's increased. I have, oh, well, broken record. There we go. If it comes in again, I don't even remember if I said it before, then we know it's confirmation. Code 4. It's 10 code. Code 4. We got a code 4. Ooh, what's your 22? On the couch. Okay, the Empress. So, feminine progress, fruitfulness, accomplishment, marriage, children, feminine influence, ability to motivate others. So, this is a really good one because feminine progress, the reason the world got effed up to begin with is because we went from a matriarchal society to a patriarchal, toxic patriarchal. Now, we need to be very clear. Toxic patriarchy is not an indication that all men are dogs and bad and the reason the world is crap. Let's clear that up really, really quick. There is such a thing as toxic femininity to go hand in hand with a toxic patriarchy. Let's not even dive into that at all. So the feminine progress comes from the wounds that were sustained during that hostile takeover, because that's what it was. It was a hostile takeover. And let's be very clear really quick. There was a very malevolent galactic race that came and convinced the menses, the poor menses, you're more powerful than her. Overthrow her. Y'all, we bleed without dying. Okay, we'll let you sit in the seat. Well, we could not, I'm fucking around. Seriously, I think that feminine progress has to do with the divine feminine and the masculine coming back together, because it talks about marriage. It talks about marriage, that feminine influence. The feminine is the neck. If the masculine is the head, the feminine's the neck. It's like a more passive way to control. Because really, when the neck says look left, you can't exactly see what's on the right. You know what I'm saying? So, accomplishment. This will be done. Fruitfulness. There was a card talking about sharing the fruit. Oh, no. Shit. That was a different reading. Or was that a different card? Oh, it's a different deck. Hold on. Sharing the fruit. Yeah, it was this one. And for Melissa, there she goes, holding her flame. I'm an antagonist tonight. So, ability to motivate others, feminine influence, accomplishment, marriage, children, feminine progress. Ooh, okay. Okay. So this book is for the Chinese tarot, which I didn't bring with me. But I love this book. So it's describing the card. The Empress holds a peony called Flower of Riches and Honors and symbol of Yang, the male principle. A reference to her consort, the Emperor. A phoenix is behind her, a symbol of peace and prosperity. So we're talking about the phoenix, coming up from the ash. First, before you come up from the ash, your ass gotta burn. First, you gotta burn, right? So, this is really tying into a lot of stuff. Peonies are flowers of protection in ancient cultures. The metaphysical properties of the peony. peony were used for protection. I mean, it's powerful enough. Obviously, it needed to be mixed with a few other things, which I'm not going to share. But peonies are a good part of exorcism rites. Y'all know I do exorcisms. So, oh, that is so fucking amazing. So peonies only flower at specific times of the year. Okay. Um, when my aunt passed away in January of this year, I tried to get her some peonies because I fucking love peonies. And the florist was like, "Oh no, no, honey. It's not the time of year." And I was like, "Oh shit. I thought you could get that anytime." She goes, "No, your mom died at the right time." I was like, "This bitch." She said my mom died at the right time. She died in June. So all of my mother's flowers were the most fucking luxurious peonies. Just like peonies everywhere. You'd swear she was getting married or some shit. No, it wasn't. Peonies. So now that got me all in the feels because I was like, what if I can't protect her? What if she's scared? Michael's like, she's good. She's good. So she was surrounded by protection. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking amazing. I didn't even think of that. I just love peonies. Okay. So we've said everything we needed to say. I don't even remember what I was telling you guys, but rewind the tape. Rewind the video. Just rewind it back and, listen to whatever you need to listen to. Whatever resonates. Take that in, swish it around the mouth before you actually swallow it in. See how it fits. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Okay. So hold on. There was someone. I don't think I've ever seen you comment before. Where are you? You probably got already anyways. Let me just stop. I'm like, ooh, you were talking about stuff that's super fascinating. Email me. Let me stop. Then people think I'm like, yeah, she likes, no, not like that. I just want to pick your brain. Sapiosexual. Yeah, no, intelligence is amazing. I'm married. Sorry. I'm married. I'm just saying, yeah, I just wanted to know what else you know so that I can know it too. Let me get going. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. If you're watching the recording, comment down below. Leave me some kind of funny or sweet thing. I like those. Funny or sweet comments. Don't be a dick. Those, I gloss over it. I don't want to hear it. So have an amazing rest of your new day. It's 12:37 Pacific Standard Time. I'll see you guys again. Bye.